Well, Mark, let's take a look at your football life, but first start with your family name. We're interested in the derivation of
that. So my family are immigrants from Croatia. So my mum and dad moved to New Zealand when they were about 18 years of age. So living in Auckland and being born in English as a second language for me. And so, it leads nicely into education in the sense that school wasn't a very successful place for me, in the sense that I got into a bit of mischief. So so I guess the role at Boys High has led me into dealing with similar sorts of kids, which is enjoyable for me, and seeing the good in a lot of kids because there's a lot of potential. But Ozic is essentially Croatian, and I guess pretty proud Croatian at that.
So was sport a bit of an outlet for you to release some, aggression perhaps? Yeah,
I think so. As I say, going to school and reading and writing was difficult, and I seemed to be able to pick up a ball, or a tennis racket or a cricket bat and have some success with it. And so, that is my interpretation of it, is success. And so it was always an outlet. I was always looking to play footy or get the kids in the street to go out and play forceback and league and touch and whatever we could get our hands on. Sports have been a big part of my life, and I think it's taught me a lot of lessons along the way, in the sense that a lot of good people have sort of taken me under their wing, so to speak. And so I'm indebted to sport quite a lot, you might say.
What about your actual rugby playing pedigree? How far did you take that?
I started late at sort of high school and was an open side flanker, and trialled for New Zealand 19s in 97, I think it was. And I remember Kevin Mialamu was a 7 and I was a 7, and we both didn't make the side. And he moved into the front row, and at that time it was Wayne Smith was the coach and Graham Henry was one of the selectors, and Graham said, "You need to move into the midfield." And so the next year I did, and spent the rest of the time playing in the backs, playing for my local club, and working my way through sort of the Auckland club comp and age grades and whatnot. A little bit of a stint here and there with some NPC sides, and didn't really get too much success, and went overseas. And at about 27 got injured and came back and had surgery on my neck, and got straight into the coaching side of it, and got married and had kids.
All right, you've had some good coaches, Wayne Smith among them, so you'd have picked up a thing or two about coaching. What was your first team you looked after?
My very first side was Waitakere College, first 15. They were in the 1B, and so I was the coach, I was the trainer. I did the hydration, game planning, discipline, the whole lot. And so when I was maybe 25 at the time, playing a bit and coaching a bit, helping out. And so I've gone from the very bottom, if you know what I mean, and gone through and done the Kelston Boys High School and done the Auckland 18s, and men's rugby, Waitemata Premiers, which is sort of my old club. And so I guess, because I'm not an All Black and I haven't played at a Super Rugby level and those sorts of things, you have to go and do the yards and get the runs on the board, so to speak. And so, I guess moving down here, this opportunity presented itself, and I thought, why not?
Well, it's not a criteria. Graham Henry didn't do any of those things either.
No, well, that's right, yeah. But I guess it seems to be the bit of the trend now, So, so I just base my coaching around, working hard and planning and organisation, and being a teacher. I know the importance of doing those things, because you get found out by the kids. So, all that has sort of led itself into where I am at the moment, and the challenges that are in front of me and the coaching staff and the team. So looking forward to, pretty excited about it. But happy.
It's a great turnaround for someone who didn't like school to end up working in one.
Yeah, well, it was that or plumbing. Dad gave me the ultimatum. He said, "Look, son, you're out there on the job with me, or you go back to school and you get some qualifications." And I had no idea what I wanted to do at sort of 17, but I knew I didn't want to dig drains and lay bricks and blocks like my dad, because he worked pretty physically, and by the time he was 50, he was pretty tired, sore man, and so seeing that growing up and how hard he worked, when the day came, I figured, if I could make some money with my brain, I might have a go at that. And I think what grew out of that is seeing a lot of young men, in similar situations with plenty of potential and talent, but just need someone to guide them and believe in them and nurture them, and just encourage them, really. So that was the avenue I wanted to take. It had to be something that I was passionate about. Sitting in an office, really, day in, day out, didn't really appeal. So the idea of working with young men and, in the education system, I'm pretty lucky, really, fortunate to have that role.
Why Southland young men? Well, young Southland men, put it that way.
Look, I got 3 kids, and Auckland, it's a pretty big city and it's pretty full on, and whilst it's great and there's plenty to do, my wife, her father is in Twizel, and so there's a bit of a family connection to come down. My wife studied in Dunedin and lived there for a number of years. I met Ian Baldwin from Southland Boys High School, and I thought this is a guy I could learn a lot from in terms of my role in education. And so at that point in time, I had no idea that I was just quite happy to go in and coach the first 15 and help out and, just get established. And one thing led to another, and as I say, Dave Henderson come a-knocking and thought long and hard about it with my role at Boys High and the time commitment and my family and whatnot. But I thought it was too good an opportunity to pass by and let someone else have a go. I thought I'll have a go, and if it doesn't work, it don't work. That's fine. I won't die wondering.
Well, tell us, define your role with the team as agreed with Dave.
So it's really assistant coach, and so take care of back attack and general team attack, and just work with Hawani and Dave around the contact area and just feeding in when we're doing our planning, just ideas and sometimes challenging, and really just keeping each other honest and like they do with me. So that pretty much covers my role at the moment.
Well, looking at the practice we've just watched here at Les George, you all seem to be equally contributing. Yeah,
and I think that's a great thing. And again, you go back, it's pretty important relationships. Ian Baldwin, I seem to get on with, and he's coming from the same space as me in terms of empathy and compassion with people and with young men and holding them accountable, and there's a lot I could relate to. And with Dave and Hawani, I feel the same in the sense that everyone's prepared to listen, and we've all got a chance to express ourselves, when we're planning, and I got that vibe from them from the onset, so I made it easy to come in and say this is what I can offer, and they've accepted me and some of my thoughts and whatnot, and we're just going from there, from strength to strength, and building a relationship based around hard work and trust and getting on the field, and no one's got egos or bravado. We're just trying to do the best for the team, and that's come through really strong as the team comes first, and that's our focus. So what's good for the Stags, really.
We're hearing a few things about you, addiction, lollies. There's a problem there, we hear.
These guys, they love to divert, hey, I don't know about these guys.
Is there no truth? You've got a habit?
Yeah, well, look, to be fair, I enjoy a cookie or two, and when we had the odd Subway meal, I've consumed one or two, but it's a far cry from Hawani McDonald cashing in all the sub vouchers, for his family, and Goof, on the other hand, taking a few oysters from the team, from the sack that was donated. Yeah, I find it a bit hypocritical, really. Hey, these guys.
They're not the guys that set you up, but we'll get to him.
Oh, really?
Shortly.
Oh, I just chucked him under the bus. So you can ask them about it.
The other clue might be the gentleman who did tell me, said the problem with fit out, with clothes.
Rebound. That's coming from a guy called Rebound, eh? Hey, what would he know? Hey, look at him. He's got no calf muscles. Hey, he's in pants 24/7. Hey, he's just covering up his own inadequacies, I think.